Hey, it's your poker guy, and I am back, and we are back with one more podcast. And I'm super excited because we have with us Poker Guru's latest coach, Mr. Mithun Mahesh. And he's someone with more than 8 crores in recorded earnings as per Poker Guru across only 4 sites. So I don't know what he's doing elsewhere. And one more personality who I think from the poker industry who super humble, and I'm very excited to talk to him and get more details in this podcast. So thank you so much, Mithun, for taking time out and coming today. Yeah, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Acha, awesome. Bolo yaar. So Mithun, there's not much written about you. I kind of dug it before the podcast, and I kind of know that acha आपने 5 blogs भी लिखे थे on Poker Guru back in 2019. So what is so if we just start on a lighter note, ke anything about you which we do not know, yeah, anything like things about you which we do not know, कुछ भी ऐसा which the industry doesn't know.
Hmm. I
We just
I
shared a
think
light joke कि he resembles अजिंक्य रहाणे, वो हम लोग ने डिस्कस किया. But anything else जो आपको ऐसा लग रहा है which we do not know about you, man, just something.
actually I think everything's out there, to be honest. Poker Guru has covered, I think, enough. So I don't, yeah, nothing top of my mind.
अच्छा ठीक है. So what I wanted to, the reason why I asked you this was basically wanted to know कि poker आप बहुत ज्यादा खेलते हो. So what is it besides poker that you really like, कि कुछ ऐसा passion है which fuels your energy for poker, you know, because काफी बारी होता है कि cricketer is like, जैसे मेरा cricket खत्म हो गया उसके बाद I probably want to do music or want to spend time with this family, so that fuels my makes me ready for cricket, you know. तो ऐसा कुछ है? Is there any passion besides this thing that
I
you really?
think बचपन से साइकोलॉजी का बहुत इंटरेस्ट था.
Okay.
बहुत साइकोलॉजी के बुक्स पढ़ता था, कंप्यूटर्स का इंटरेस्ट था. That's why I got into engineering. Always wanted to become an engineer. But the love for psychology, I think, was more dominant, and poker gave me that platform, right? Sort of.
Absolutely, yeah. That like yeah. So now if we just discuss this from there, psychology, but इतने young age पे how psychology came in, like how, like just generally just ऐसे books पढ़ने का हुआ कि
Mom, mom,
mom.
mom. So
हाँ.
mom used to always, she used to always, catch me lying, basically. So it was a game to beat her always, So yeah.
तो
So
आपका
that's how I
bluffing
was.
पहले अच्छा नहीं था, and
नहीं
then
नहीं,
you
बहुत
kind of
टेल्स देता था मॉम को. तो
हाँ.
बहुत काम करना पड़ा.
Got it. Nice. So ठीक है. So this psychology thing happened, and is this something which you do right now also? Is it something that you read a lot?
Yeah, I do. I actually read books related to psychology, neuroscience, whatever that interests me. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Any book that is top of your head कि यार ये book पढ़ने लायक है, if for people like us also?
Right now, I'm about to finish Thinking Fast and Slow.
I've heard of this, right?
Yeah.
So what do these books do? मतलब psychology पढ़ के या books पढ़ के, do you see any change आता है कुछ आपके behavior में कि do you?
I mean, the major change I had was when I read a book called What Everybody is Saying, Everybody is Saying, basically.
Okay.
It was a book by, I think, Joe Navarro. He
Okay.
was an ex agent, CIA agent or something.
Oh wow. So
FBI
it's
agent, maybe.
so basically it's about reading tells of body
No,
not
how
counts.
basically this works, how the body language basically, what's the underlying mechanism behind it.
अच्छा.
So yeah, that changes sort of outlook. Yeah.
How does that impact poker में? ऐसा वो ऑफलाइन में जब आप जाते हो तो उसका कुछ आप ट्राई करते हो और होता नहीं है एप्लीकेशन
ऑफलाइन में तो अभी बहुत नया हूँ मैं. तो
हाँ.
ऑफलाइन में पहले अभी मैं खुद के टेल संभाल रहा हूँ, खुद का पॉट काउंट कर रहा हूँ. अभी तक वो लेवल आया नहीं जहाँ पे ये सब अप्लाई कर पाऊँ.
Got it.
But yeah, there have been a few spots where I was able to
बट
take
ऐसा
help.
that must feel good ना कि यार ये पता है और ये सच्ची एप्लीकेशन में राइट बैठ रहा है, ऐसा हुआ है लाइक?
It's not that simple. I mean,
Okay.
you have to read it in context. Like there should be 3-4 factors which would indicate it. It's still not like an accurate thing to do. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So before we start and get into details, let's just go through your journey. Like you said, you wanted to be an engineer. So what is the thing? And you're originally from Kerala and then you shifted to Maharashtra. So what is the story there and how did poker happen? And engineering के साथ हुआ क्या हुआ? Like if you can just take us through the journey first.
बचपन से I used to play cards with my parents post lunch. Spades and rummy, this were our games.
Nice.
So yeah, this was a daily ritual. After my 10th, I had to shift town for my engineering education, and I missed playing poker basically. Sorry, I missed playing card games. And I had got the first mobile phone back then, and so I went into the card game section, downloaded rummy, spades, and I saw Texas Hold'em poker there. So that's how I got introduced to it. And back then, I think I'm from a small town, and Facebook and all was not really a thing.
There was no Zynga poker, so it's not a Zynga poker story.
I never played on Zynga poker, so yeah, nice. That's why I mentioned.
This was actually चाहत थी कि मुझे cards खेलना है, इसलिए मैंने download किया. Okay, this is when you shifted.
Missing the time spent.
This is when you shifted from home, right? So you shifted from home. I'm not a social person,
so I had to rely on games. So yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. So Google किया rules, पढ़े, अच्छा लगा बहुत, खेलते बैठा. Offline games, offline video games. And Daniel Negreanu के videos देखे, came across him. That was something very fascinating for me.
So he leaves a massive influence. Correct.
Yeah. So after that, it was just fantasy. It used to be a fantasy. 16-17 साल के बच्चे की fantasy होती है ना, cricketer. Cricket खेल रहा है इंडिया के लिए, या football खेल रहा है बड़े team के लिए. So just fantasy. So मेरा poker was fantasy. I never imagined it being such a big thing. So it was just zone out, think you're winning something, that's it. I never thought anything about that. It was just fantasy. Engineering, maybe तब तक मैं almost सब video games खेल चुका था offline. I still don't know about Zynga poker. Engineering में surprisingly I never met anyone who knew about poker.
But where were you doing your engineering? कहाँ था engineering? You had shifted
Mumbai University.
Mumbai में था. Okay, perfect. Oh, which college?
No, here it's called SSPM. It's in Ratnagiri zone.
Acha,
so
okay.
It's not in Mumbai, but Mumbai University, yeah.
Okay.
So, and my diploma was in Ratnagiri itself. It was a government polytechnic, so yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So I never met anyone who played poker, and I taught poker to a lot of people. I think 20-30 people. We used to play poker in hostel, not for stakes, but for say जो पहले bust होता है वो पानी भर के लेके आएगा, those kind of things.
Nice.
So yeah, so again after hostel I missed playing poker again, so that's when I searched online. I think this was in 2015 or 14.
तब तो इतना बड़ा सीन भी नहीं था, right? Online का इतना बड़ा सीन भी नहीं था.
When I googled, I found there was a little scene, Adda 52 was there. Yeah. And I searched for Indian online poker. Yeah, that's what I searched, and I came across Aditya Agarwal. And he was representing an international biggest poker site, and an Indian is representing it. So that was a mind-blowing thing for me back then. And I just basically stalked him. जितना कुछ Google is my friend, so basically जितना कुछ उसके आदि के बारे में जान सकता हूँ, जान लिया, सब इंटरव्यू पढ़ लिया. And from that day I was like, this is what I want to do. If this is a thing, this is the actual thing, you can make money. So yeah.
But engineering के टाइम पे जॉब लेने का प्लान था? Wanted to do a job, wanted to do MBA post engineering, ऐसा कुछ था पहले माइंड में?
नहीं, I was always into core engineering. I feel like because yeah, I understood it. I liked it. So
understood. So you were actual engineer, not just engineer.
Yeah, sort of, I guess.
Yeah, perfect.
So I liked it. I enjoyed it. Engineering a lot.
It improves your analysis skills as well, right? Your math and your ability to question things. वो भी बहुत ज़्यादा engineering. Yeah. If you're a good engineer, it actually really you can question.
Yeah, imagination, like visualization, those kind of things.
सही है. Yeah, it's an impact जो नहीं पता चलता है, but अब ये when you come into that zone, you can understand it better. Okay, it did have an impact. Fair enough.
I think it's because of those traits you sort of want to do that, right?
Correct.
I can't think I'm me doing anything else, like say doctor and all this was impossible for me. So yeah.
Perfect. So engineering ho gaya, you find online and you probably set up an account on some platforms, and then Adda 52, and then you started playing online.
Obviously I didn't have money. And me putting money in some real gaming, it's something that is impossible. So 100 rupees max, we सोच के वैसा करता था. Basically I used to study a lot. Like I used to torrent से बहुत कुछ books download कर लिए.
तो पोकर के ऊपर?
हाँ, तो जो भी books available है out there, I read almost everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and so yeah, basically the drill was play free rolls. Spartan also came, I think, after some point.
Yeah, I think
Free rolls
2015
खेलो.
is when they came. Yeah.
Yeah, free rolls. They used to have a lot of free rolls. Free roll खेलो, 330 rupees. I think I remember. First prize होता था, वो जीतो. Cash game बैठ जाओ. No bankroll. Idea of bankroll
इधर
management.
खत्म
कोई
करो
idea
या
नहीं
उसको
है.
मल्टीप्लाई करो. हाँ.
मल्टीप्लाई करो, ब्रो को जाओ वापस फ्री रोल खेलो.
हाँ.
वही है. तो वैसे वैसे करके बहुत कुछ खर्चा निकल जाता था.
बट वो टाइम पे कोई प्रेशर नहीं था ना कि अभी कुछ करना है बिकॉज यू वर यंग, यू वर 21 22 टाइप, सो इट्स नॉट दैट यू हैड लाइक.
Yeah, no, actually, I needed money. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like the financial situation at home was not that great. So it was
Sure.
yehi paisa, like there's no bankroll. Money was always going at home, sort
Okay.
of, you know. So I used to make like say whatever, you know, वो 330 को run up किया 10,000 निकाल दो घर पे भेज दो free roll खेलो.
Correct.
So it was
Correct.
something like that.
Sure.
So yeah, some like this similar emergency was there, and I was like, engineering is not as I expected. Like the effort you put, you don't get rewarded enough.
Correct.
Right. And so yeah, there was some series, little big series on Spartan. Remember, I had some 3,000 rupees from poker, and I just decided I'll take break. I took break from office for a week for that, and wanted to win it desperately. And I won a lot of tournaments in it. I won the main event. I won the leaderboard. I had like I think around 2 lakh, and that's huge money for me back then.
Absolutely.
Right. This is I think 2016 or 17. Not far, 17 maybe. Yeah. But this was huge money for me back then, right? So yeah, but yeah, no idea of bankroll management. ये पता ही नहीं concept होता है. बैठ गया high stakes, half बहुत rapidly चला गया. ब्रेक लिया 2 महीने, वापस बुक्स पढ़े.
2 महीने ब्रेक लिया.
हाँ.
2 महीने ब्रेक ले लिया.
Yeah. So I realized कि नहीं थोड़ा कुछ higher
गलत हो रहा है. हाँ.
हाँ. तो नहीं गलत नहीं, स्किल चाहिए.
अच्छा.
मतलब लोग हार्ड खेल रहे हैं, प्रेडिक्टेबल नहीं है जितना लोअर स्टेक्स पे थे.
हाँ.
तो बुक पढ़े और बुक पढ़े. आई थिंक या Moorman book of poker, that was the book I read.
Sorry, what's the name?
Chris Moorman, you know. Chris
yeah, of course. Yeah.
So his books, there are 2 books.
Okay.
Those books I read, and after that again I jumped in high stakes. I mean, see, the bankroll management is not advised. I had no idea. I never met a poker player. Never, you know, had guidance. So yeah, ran it up. Made I think around 8-9 lakh bankrolls. Huge money. Got a lot of content. तब तक पता चल गया क्या करना है क्या नहीं. 1-2 ऑनलाइन जो उस टाइम पे क्रशर्स थे उनको कांटेक्ट किया था. Anirban Das, he sort of gave me a lot of idea. I had contacted I think Anuj Kodam as well once. I had talked to him once. That's it. Online ये खेलते वक्त chat करके.
Sure.
So yeah, then I think बना लिया और ये बहुत बड़ा अमाउंट है. पता है मुझे लगा it's good enough, right? And I got a lot of content. I had bought Agarwal and a lot of other poker contents. So yeah, still I don't think I would have ever quit my job because you know साथ में तो हो ही रहा था. But there was an incident where a company, basically I was leading a team and it was a fun project. Company had some downswing and they fired I think whole unit, 400-500 people laid down. Only I was kept and a team of few technicians because I knew all the parameters. I had programmed a lot of things and that felt very wrong, you know, like the result of you working hard, you working extra is others get laid off, right? So that was something very like not fair sort of thing. And this is not like, you know, because of me, because if I worked hard, if the way I felt the back then was if I hadn't worked that hard, others would have also been there. My friends, they wouldn't have fired them. You know, even my HOD say like, hey, sub managerial staff ko fire kar diya tha. So it was just disaster. So a few months I just played. कुछ नहीं होता था. Company जाना है, बैठना है, आना है. कोई काम नहीं, obviously just namesake for that.
Correct.
तो poker ही खेलता था और कुछ नहीं करता था. I could have stayed there. There's nothing to do, you know. But yeah, still I felt like this is not what I want. Suddenly कुछ हुआ, घर पे कॉल किया, मॉम को बोला कि छोड़ रहा हूँ, 6 months I'm going to try poker. Mom said okay, did you talk to dad? I said I'll talk to him. Called dad, told him.
काफी लोगों को ये सुविधा नहीं मिलती. Okay.
नहीं मुझे भी
नहीं मिली, you
I'm in
did
some
it.
different zone. I don't know,
हाँ,
there's some different zone here, right?
sure.
So that's what I'm saying. I didn't ask, like I'm just telling. And dad said, like, is it not possible to do it with job? I said no, I want to dedicate complete time to this. So dad said, okay, if you feel that's right, then
Go for it.
yeah. Then I quit, and that's how uh, full-time poker without meeting a poker player, without understanding account management.
Wow.
And yeah, so as soon as I turned full-time, again some financial emergency had come, and my bankroll took half hit. Had to go out, and bankroll started depleting soon, right? And this is a huge pressure time. And तब GPL आया. There was a league hosted by PokerStars, Global Poker League,
Okay.
which was premiered on Colors. So I उसके qualifiers खेले. पहला पहला क्वालिफायर, आई थिंक जो क्वालिफायर खेला वो आदित्य अग्रवाल था उस टीम का मेंटर. वो मैं ऑलमोस्ट बबल हो गया, लाइक 10 प्लेसेस पे क्वालिफाइड. आई थिंक 11th और 12th और 13th आई बस्टेड. नेक्स्ट डे था चेन्नई शार्क्स का, नेक्स्ट वीक आई थिंक व्हाटएवर. आई प्लेड दैट, गॉट क्वालिफाइड. गया दिल्ली गया. वहां पे 10 लोग थे क्वालिफायर. 2 सीट्स थे. एक सीट ऑडिशन से होने वाला था, राइट? और एक सीट SNG खेल के होने वाला था. The 9 players will play SNG.
Sure.
And in the 10 qualifiers, there was Ujjwal Narwal.
I know.
He was used to win a lot back then. Like he was a popular name, and it was very obvious that he's going to be selected because he's much deserving at that point, right?
Correct.
And also the captain was Vikram Kumar, Lungi Bhai, as we call him.
Okay.
And he was I think, co-owner of back then PG Ace Jack.
Okay, yeah, right.
And Ujjwal was part of PG or Ace Jack back then.
So it was
obvious. It was obvious, like, because he's deserving. It's not like anything else.
Correct.
But it's way too deserving to get that spot. So my go and going Delhi, meeting all these poker players for first time
was the biggest thing, right?
Biggest thing. And I understood how the industry is, क्या होता है सब कुछ, staking क्या होती है. आदित्य अग्रवाल coach है इस jack में. So at that point my only aim was to impress Lungi Bhai. Lungi Bhai is Vikram Kumar, as we call him. To impress him and then apply to Ace Jack after the GPL so that कुछ हो जाए. That was my only goal. But yeah, things went in my favor. मेरा इंटरव्यू बहुत अच्छा गया शायद. लुंगी भाई बोले कि meet me outside right after the interview. I met him. He said, would you like to play for Ace Jack? I said, yeah, like without thinking. That's what I wanted, right?
Correct.
So yeah, तो वो हो गया वैसा. And next day apparently when the results came out, they had selected me in that.
Wow.
So yeah, the rest is like,
this is 2017, 2018.
17, I think.
Wow. And since
18,
then
18 it was premiered on TV, I think. 17
short ho gaya. Huh. So basically this was 5 years ago, and there's 4-5 years ago, and there's not been looking back. 6 महीने का 4-5 साल हो चुका है.
हाँ, नेशनल टीवी पे आ गए तो घर वाले तो मतलब अलग लेवल पे.
हाँ कि अब तो लीगल हो गया है, लेजिट हो गया है. सही है. वाओ यार. सो अगेन you're also, what you did is you covered the parts के यार आपका ये qualification हो गया. I'm sure इसमें बहुत सारे lows भी रहे होंगे, right? Like you said कि आपका बैंक पहली बार जब half हुआ 2 lakh से you must have lost money, and आपने फिर 2 महीने का break लिया. Then second time you got a hit of your bankroll again, and plus there was some emergency at home. So what was your state that time? Like it was, but clear था कि छोड़ना तो ये नहीं है. This is only giving me money. ये तो clean था.
I mean, yeah, had my fair share of adversities in life. Poker has been gentle with me. Yeah. So it was more of like, how would I say? जब मैंने poker decide कर लिया था तब मैं almost, it was that momentum, like, कुछ नहीं अभी.
This is it.
I want to achieve what I want to achieve. Yeah.
What do you want to achieve? Like, what's the plan? Like, if I ask you, because it seems like you're very zen and very happy with poker, and I don't see any reason कि आप stop करो. So, and I love the freedom also what the game gives. So, is it something कि यार बस यही like problem क्या है? ये करते रहूँगा 65 पे भी जाके मैं वेगस में बैठूंगा और खेलूंगा WSOP. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? So is that the zone, or what are you planning on?
Like back then, if you would ask me, obviously, like everyone else, I want to go to WSOP, win bracelets, be the best. वही सब था. Abhi, I think it's not long-term goals, mostly short-term goals. Yeah.
Oh,
Now
so it's more short-term goals now from poker?
Not from poker, in life in general.
Ah.
Living in the moment, doing what I can do, what's in my control mostly.
But not leaving poker, right? That's what I'm like. Poker छोड़ने का, like there's no plan for that. Like, are you okay? Like a lot of people tell me, and a lot of people have quit also the game, you know. And अभी कुछ का कुछ और कर, like ऐसा कोई plan नहीं है. Right? Are you okay to play poker at a 50 also?
Yeah, completely. Like there's a like वो thought भी नहीं आया कि
poker. So there's no level of boredom कि poker से कंटाला आ रहा है कि वो है ही नहीं. Okay. Awesome, yeah. Let's move on to this thing. And before we ask you your study pattern and like, you know, what is your approach and आपने कितना पढ़ा है? तो पहले तो, in fact, let's take that up only. In terms of, you mentioned कि you read a lot and you know कि आपको आपका Google friend है and you loved like spending time with yourself reading a lot of these books and learning about poker. अभी भी काफी लोग मुझे कम्युनिटी पे मैसेज करते हैं, यू नो कि भाई पढ़ना क्या है ना, अगेन आई हैव नॉट स्टडीड लाइक व्हाट यू स्टडीड, सो देयर इज नो राइट आंसर. सब लोग बोलते हैं हाँ ये रेंजेस कर लो, ये कर लो, वो कर लो, बट इफ यू हैव टू गाइड दैट 24-year-old हु वाज यू लास्ट लाइक आई मीन 5-6 years ago एंड दे आर आस्किंग कि भाई पढ़ना क्या है ताकि मैं भी ऐसे रिजल्ट्स देख सकूं, सो व्हाट इफ यू हैव टू गिव स्टेप बाय स्टेप, वो क्या हो, लाइक इफ यू कैन गिव रैंडम बट लाइक आपने कहा कि बुक्स पढ़नी है ये वाली, सो व्हाट वुड यू गिव कि ये करो?
Books, I don't know how relevant it is right now.
Sure.
To the current understanding of our game. The books usually were the past understanding of our game, you know, the old school thinking, as we call it.
Correct.
So it was based on that. So understand that poker is a system first. It's a quantifiable system. Basically, you have to understand how that system works. More than anything, remove psychology, remove player tendencies, everything.
Correct.
Understand how poker works as a system, and that's done with the help of the tools available right now, you know, solvers and those kind of things. And then apply, understand how it works, and then extend that in terms of real life parameters, you know, understand how you would. Yeah.
फिर वो डायनामिक सिचुएशंस लेके आओ, बट अगर अभी आप नहीं, बट स्टिल इफ आई पुट स्टेप बाय स्टेप, यू नो, इफ समवन न्यू एट 22 राइट नाउ वांट्स टू स्टार्ट प्लेइंग पोकर, जो पहले आपकी तरह कर रहा है विदाउट बैंकरोल आइडिया, ऐसे ही खेल रहा है, जीत रहा है, हार रहा है, जीत रहा है, हार रहा है, डेली वो चल रहा है, व्हाट शुड दे टेक अप? लाइक अगर स्टेप बाय स्टेप आप बोलोगे भाई तू पहले जाके ये चीज कर, लाइक एग्जांपल नाउ यू आर अ कोच, so I'm sure there must be some system. I know of course we can't do that what you do, but अगर कुछ बेसिक हो कि यार ये पहले इतना पढ़ के आओ यार, ये चीज समझ लो क्या है, सॉल्वर्स आप डे वन पे रेकमेंड करो.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Someone will get very overwhelmed.
Correct. And exactly,
it's very, very, very easy to go wrong.
Okay.
You know, people are happy nowadays that they get these online tools, but it's a path to disaster. Like, you know, because without understanding, if you are going to mimic something, it's just going to destroy you. So I would recommend strongly in this environment, if you really want to understand theoretical poker, coaching is necessary. I was fortunate that I was trained under Aditya Agarwal.
Yeah.
So yeah, coaching I would recommend. I think that's must. And I think a lot of coachings are available right now. I'm aware all my colleagues regs are offering coaching. So yeah, you can contact any good reg.
Got it. So coaching is a must. Awesome.
Yeah, I would say it's a must. Yeah.
So you mentioned Adi and Aditya Agarwal, and so let's just, before we go into what Pokerguru ka staking is and staking kya hai also, how is Aditya Agarwal as a person, and like let's just talk about him. Like yeah, because you also said that 2015 maybe agar you know is there, and he's that personality jo dikhte nahi hai regularly. Like right now he's not available. You know, you don't know anything about him. You'll just hear कि WSOP में either पहुंच गए and खेले कि नहीं खेले. That's all we know. So how is he as a person? What is the impact he has? उनकी aura कैसी है? Like, and for people like me who've just started, we've not seen him play as such.
As a person, he's fun person, very fun person. Enjoys his life, you know, enjoys his fish thali and series, and lives his life basically.
Sure.
As a player, he's very fierce. You know, something that like if one quality that I notice in Adi is predator instincts.
Okay.
You know, like he'll identify, if he identifies some weaknesses, toot padega. So yeah.
Wow. सो बट ऐसा होता है कभी कभी, लाइक अगर आप बड़े प्लेयर के सामने हो तो वैसे आपको ऐसा आप जो अपन थोड़ा ऐसे हो जाते हैं कि यार अब जो बोल रहा है, हाँ, तो वैसा डू यू गेट दैट फीलिंग कि लाइक
Yeah,
यू आर
yeah. Till
ही?
date, till date, till date. In front of Adi, I go blank.
ओ
Like
या,
even if I'm
दैट
spending time
हैपेंस.
with him, I'm just blank. Like I stammer. I yeah, a lot of things. I just go blank.
So he's
I'll
got
spend
that strong
yeah.
personality. That strong personality is there. Like I think.
Yeah, I think more than that, I think he's a big part of my life, right? Poker start ही किया उनके वजह से coaching से पूरा I understand the game because of him. So I think तो वो थोड़ा आ जाता है ना, I think pressure
Correct,
also.
correct,
So I
correct,
think it's
correct.
more of that. But
Sure.
yeah, he's very chill, very chill. Yeah.
Acha. Okay, let's go to like Poker Guru and the staking part of things. So basically, what is staking at Poker Guru? Staking में क्या exactly होता है? If you can, because a lot of people message and because सबको ये लगता है staking से कि भाई कोई और पैसा लगा रहा है, मैं खिलूंगा, life is good. I get people to I can play. How does staking work? Firstly, and वो क्या होता है? Like then we'll go into details of the staking program. But what is staking at? Like what is staking generally?
So as I'm not a bankroll expert yet. So yeah, so basically you need a certain amount of bankroll, as we all know, right, to play this game, which is not possible most of the time for us, right?
Correct.
So there's an entity which basically provides you that platform to takes care of you in terms of what games you should play based on your skill, you know.
तो दे
But
रिकमेंड, वो बताते हैं कि भाई आप ये
yeah,
खेलो, ये
this
मत
is the
खेलो.
biggest skill you should have, is that I think according to me, two biggest skill you should have is evaluating yourself correctly. Most of the times people are like always over evaluating themselves or under evaluating themselves. I think I come in a category where I under evaluate. So wherever, like the staking, there are people with experience. They tell you what you should be doing, basically recommendations, not like rules or something. That is there, and they provide you coaching as well.
They provide you coaching, they recommend क्या खेलना है, and then they stake you. Is it like 100% staking,
Yeah,
50% stake,
100%, 100%.
100% staking? So they're in we'll back you, and then certain amount of
Yeah,
percentage of your winnings goes to them.
yeah,
ऐसा होता है.
yeah.
ठीक है. How does losses work in this? कि मतलब अगर आप loss कर रहे हो, assuming, तो is that a part of the deal only कि हाँ ठीक है, it's covered in that only?
Yeah, yeah. So the one benefit of staking is like worst case scenario, if you are not, if you lose a lot, and if you're not, if it's clear that you won't be able to make it, so that loss is not on you. Like तुमको,
Understood. So
it's a
and they
staking.
selection करके ही लेते हैं, मतलब आपको
Yeah,
इतने लोगों के
exactly.
बीच में
That's
select
why
करके
that's why the selection process is stringent.
is
Yeah.
strict. Okay, perfect. And how does the hisab work? Matlab, if they've got you on board and now you are winning, abhi aapne, and by the way, congratulations. I think last night you shipped a massive tournament, so congratulations for that.
Thank you.
तो कैसे होता है? Like who keeps a track? Like is it like how is there a
There's
track?
a management. There's a proper management. Numbers are done. Everything. I know. So
Okay, so
yeah,
that's a full system for that.
there's a system for that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. ये बताओ, what is the pressure if you are Poker Guru staked? Like वो pressure क्या होता है कि do players have that pressure? How many people are there in the Poker Guru stable?
I don't know the exact number now. There are a lot. I think more than 20, 30. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what is the pressure of that? Like ऐसा होता है because you're with the best of the best in the country. तो वो stress आता है कि अरे यार इसके results जा रहे हैं, मेरे नहीं, यार ऐसा होता है?
नहीं, to be honest, वैसा नहीं होता. Like yeah, surprisingly नहीं होता है. And now that you told me, it is a big thing, but नहीं होता. It's actually a pressure free environment.
Okay.
Yeah, very pressure free environment. Like because the way they have groomed me, I can tell you that I was not good with pressure situations. So yeah, it's a very pressure free, and they basically do the right things for you. I would say that. Yeah.
And the people who are with, so I know Karthik Ved is there, Ashish Munot, yourself, and a lot of other people, new players also who've joined. How is the environment among the people? Like, is it a very close group जो एकदम एक दूसरे को जानते हैं, help करते रहते हैं, community wise each other, like the people?
Yeah. So it's always like you can see that in live tournaments, right? Live tournaments, we always are in a group, and
Correct. So that but नहीं, but for Poker Guru staking only ऐसे वो बहुत close knit रहता है.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, ये मुझे बताओ, if you know any story of someone who just went bad after staking, ऐसा कुछ हुआ है? Like don't mention the name of the person, but because of the pressure, or if the results have not come, and like it's been like a very ऐसा कुछ हुआ है किसी का भी, like without the naming
Player
the
has
person,
gone.
like the results have just started dropping, like अगर cash game player हुआ like massive downswing हो गया, या tournament में the results are not coming, only like इतना time हो गया, titles नहीं आ रहे
मेरा
होंगे.
मेरा हुआ है ना, दूसरे का क्यों करता है?
अच्छा.
Like I was a very natural and very raw instinctive player,
Okay.
and then I suddenly started studying theory, right?
Okay.
So yeah, that was a little shift.
You were in a mix, confusion.
Yeah, I was very confident back before joining in my game, and it was a different type of play style, more psychology oriented, more player tendency, HUD based, right?
Got it.
So yeah, dropped. I struggled the initial few years until I finally integrated what it exactly is, and integrated it with my play style.
Got it. तो ये जो स्ट्रगल हो रहा है, हाउ इज योर माइंडसेट दैट टाइम, बिकॉज लाइक यू सेड, प्रेशर में कभी कभी आदमी को पता नहीं रिएक्ट कैसे करना है. डिड यू एवर फील इन दिस एंटायर पोकर करियर एंड मे बी दैट टाइम आल्सो कि यार आई एम नॉट मेंट फॉर दिस, यार मतलब मैं ये गलत जगह पे आ गया हूँ, यहाँ बहुत स्ट्रांग है, एंड हाउ डिड यू टेक दैट सिचुएशन, कैसा गया वो?
पोकर में एक लग्जरी है ना अपने पास कि कुछ नहीं चल रहा है तो लक पे ब्लेम कर दो. So yeah, I did that.
अच्छा.
I did that. So the blog I wrote, I think, Upswing in Disguise.
Correct. Right.
It was the end of that phase. When I finally realized that this is not luck and this is bad play, bad game.
Sure.
So yeah, that was the part when I blocked it, Upswing in Disguise. So yeah, and then it was good after then when I had that.
But coming to mindset, कि because सबसे बड़ा factor which I felt, कि mindset is very strong इसमें, because emotions don't have to overpower you. तो उसके लिए आप क्या करते हो? Like, is there a thing where you all do something for mindset, or is your coaching include mindset? And mindset में क्या होता है? Like, I know mindset coaching सब लोग बोलते हैं, but what is there in mindset? Is it just कि भाई तू कर सकता है, motivation है कि क्या है mindset coaching?
Motivation is just not
Overrated, हाँ. So I want to know what happens in mindset actually.
Yeah. So motivation, there's two types of confidence, I feel, like intrinsic and extrinsic, and motivation just gives you that extrinsic confidence. It just starting mein hai.
Correct. I agree. You cannot sustain. It's not a marathon.
Intrinsic confidence to gain, there's a lot of system. Mindset, the traditional poker coaching, mindset coaching that goes in. I'm not entirely sure.
So whatever your experience.
So no, I'm entirely sure about the validity of it. What I rely on is sports psychology. So I have a sports psychologist, and so yeah, I work with her regarding systematically building routines, building micro routines, and those kind of things.
What does that mean, micro routine ka matlab?
I mean, in any sports, like if you see a lot of people have rituals, they have a routine. Batsman batting ke pehle kuch karega, certain things. It's just to put them back in the zone. So say for example, like I have a sticky note here. So it's basically for, say, after some certain event that bothers me, there's a step by step, what should I do now? So whenever I'm in that spot, I just had to look there and just do that mental process. It's a ritual. So, and over time this will be automated. So
this is micro routine. So this is what they teach you कि भाई ये maybe it's like reliving. मेरे को कौन बता रहा था कि मैं इतना याद करता हूँ कि उस दिन जब मैं जीता था, मैंने ये खाया था, मैंने ये किया था, मैंने इतने बजे नहाया था. So that whole system sets in your mind, and then you kind of go back to that routine all the time next time when you're playing. Is it like that?
Not that complicated. It's very simple. Let's say bad bait. Dealing with bad bait. No matter how much experience the person has, थोड़ा सा एक ये होता है. It depends कितने जल्दी तुम आते हो back to the track, right?
Correct.
So to make it more systematic, like but like say now usually bad bits might not bother me, but maybe some WSOP final table might bother
big
me,
tournament,
right?
yeah, for sure.
But even that should not happen. So basically it's say the current routine I have is for you may identify it that has happened. You have to take deep breath. You have to take a certain deep breath, 4x, like box breathing we call it. Take that, ask, was it in my control? If yes, what aspects of it? If no, let it go. So yeah, that breathing is very essential to disconnect from those emotions and then come back to
This is what your mindset coach teaches and the coaches at Pokerguru teach you? क्या ये सब चीजें incorporate
No,
करना है?
this is my personal like this is, but
Got it.
in my coaching program, this I'll be encouraging people to do the same.
Understood. Okay.
I'm a firm believer of sports psychology. In any sports, sports psychology is must.
I think the science of all these things has started to come in the last, like I just compare it to cricket. So cricket में भी आप देखोगे तो I think the Dhoni era has started to bring it. The Dhoni and maybe the Ganguly era also has started to bring in the science behind all these things compared to. So I think,
Yes.
and it's same applicable in all the sports. It's clear.
Yeah. And my psychologist works with this cricketers as well, so it's very
Wow.
validated, I would say. Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. What happens the next day of a big win? What happens on the next day of a big win? Like, is it different? Are you raring to go कि यार अब मचाऊंगा आज तो आने दे ये, या फिर कैसे होता है? Like कुछ भी अलग होता है of a next big win?
एकदम big win जो होते हैं, जो like 15
I'm just saying your last night's win is also fine for us, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, that is just fine. You just feel happy. I make a fist pump like that, and that's it. That's about it. Then I do my routine. That's it. But yeah, sometimes it's when the amount is too big. Yeah, you're very excited. So maybe I sleep a little late because of the rush of it. It takes time to. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, so nothing else. Next day कुछ नहीं होगा. There's no splashing of money next day. ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. Management of money strong है.
Strong नहीं बोलूँगा. Punter नहीं हूँ.
हाँ.
But saving अभी सीख रहा हूँ. मतलब I'm not an expert. Like पैसा नया आया तो सीख रहा हूँ.
Okay, so मेरा उस पे ही था actually, but before I come to that, मेरा ये हाँ. So in fact, let's discuss that. Describe your most biggest like punting story. It can be post win also, because right now, do you do cash games? Do you play cash games as well? I think you remove the major part of your punting game right there.
Yeah,
itself.
I don't enjoy it. I play poker for the mental stimulation of things and the strategic purity. And I haven't prepared myself for the highest stakes of game जहाँ पे ये होगा, right? So tournament में I get that mental stimulation and it excites me. So
it's a journey. वो पूरा एक journey है, because it starts from high, then you go low, then you again come back. ठीक है. So cash games होता है. So there's no major punting story आपका ऐसा हुआ नहीं होगा last 5 years में, where you've just gone and like चल अब तो मैं ये कर लेता हूँ, उड़ा देता हूँ. क्या like because I have so much money right now that I've got, I can play high stakes. Let's just go play 1,000, 2,000 stakes. Nothing like that happens.
नहीं, वो तो मतलब वो starting के story में वो fight.
हाँ, उसके बाद कभी नहीं हुआ, right? उसके बाद कभी नहीं हुआ. Wow. So this money that you guys get, is there a way of which how you all handle in terms of if you won yesterday, do you all keep withdrawing it? Do you keep it inside only because you're going to be using it on the side? So is that taught to you? ऐसा कुछ सिखाया जाता है क्या? क्योंकि कितनी बार
I mean, once you get profit, Karthik is a very, very sorted guy. He understands investment, saving. So he advises us that you should invest your money, those kind of things. Guides you in terms of investments. That's it. Like,
are you a cryptocurrency investor?
I actually was studying it for a bit, but then realized it again. It's I can't do both. It's something
it needs
something
proper study.
Yeah, I mean, I do regret not being a part of it, but I mean, sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. Yeah.
Sure. But it seems like you are more like कि मैं ऐसे ही कहीं पैसा नहीं डाल दूंगा, पढ़ाई करके उसके बाद ही डालूंगा. I'm not going to just put it because वो ride
I haven't bought anything. Yeah.
You're not riding in ऐसे ही कुछ भी करके कहीं भी.
नहीं. I wanted to, so that's why I was studying it. I was studying the indicators and those kind of things, but yeah, it's very vague, I feel.
Do you take action of other people? वो आप करते हो? Do you feel you would not feel this thing? You need to be really confident about the other person. Is the vibe I'm getting.
I mean, I don't. It's not that. To be honest, I'm not. I don't understand how the math correct thing behind it. So yeah, I don't buy action. I don't say don't bet or anything. Yeah. So I have to know.
How is Mithun as a poker guru coach going to be different? Like, what do you think is what's going to be your X factor into the coaching? क्या करने वाले हो आप? कुछ ऐसा सोचा है?
Yeah, so I think there are two factions of the industry, I would say. One is who advocate exploit and one who advocates GTO, and I would say both are they might not have a clear idea. So it's mostly about understanding the game theoretically and applying it based on the in-game variables.
Correct.
It's a simple thing, both are important. So yeah, that's what I'm going to teach, how to do that technically, not just hawe mein baatein, with proof and with the whatever tools available right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got it. But ये discussions तो I'm sure आपके coaching में already होते होंगे, right? Because the kind of people also who are selected are some people who already have a good idea on this. So your take is getting it more technically is what you're saying, just proving it with the right tools.
Yeah, exploiting as well, but it has a method to it. It's not yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Is there so I see that you're very sorted. Like in fact, all of you players I talk to, ऐसा नहीं है कि my one question was that is there ever a thing कि मेरे को कितनी bullets fire करनी है? Or all of this is something of the past. Like right now, do you face this dilemma कि मैं late reg कर लूंगा, बस 30 minutes बची है, 20 minutes बची है और मैं खेल लेता हूँ एक tournament? Do you all go through all these phases that right now, which new poker players go through? कि 15 मिनट पहले late reg कर दिया, 12 bigs मिला, 8 bigs मिला, खेलने बैठ गए. Do you do all this, or right now you kind of avoid all this?
Yeah, sometimes I do, but yeah, I think it's more about as a strategy. Very lucky that I have right people around me, so it's just sorted. Karthik, I think, is expert in these things, so I just ask him what's the right approach and I just do that.
Oh, nice. Karthik Ved is someone also we want to get on podcast, but he's like, I'm also too this thing. I don't know if I'll be able to talk or not. So it'll be exciting.
Same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Last question I have is why 24 months? Why does Pokerguru take for 24 months? इतना लंबा क्यों है?
Okay, so this is equity based profit sharing sorts of, right? So
correct.
So it takes time, I would say. Like it's not like and this is especially the players we are targeting, it's going to be a little who need work, right? So the actual results might come in later part of the year.
Oh,
so yeah,
okay.
Two is short, to be honest. Like
आप बोल रहे हो कि पढ़ाई कराएंगे पहले, you will get ready.
Karthik is generous and he's offered to. If I was I would have longer. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. But it's intense work or what? It's not like अपना college 3 घंटा दिन का दिया. It's very intense work, is it? At poker, like at the staking.
I'm trying not to make it that intense and not but yeah, like it's not just about session attend kar liya ho gaya. You have to work off table. I'll be always constantly checking things.
But accountability होती है लोगों के पास कि कोई ऐसे होते हैं कि जो मतलब नहीं account, like everyone is very accountable, or is it like
yeah, like basically the one major factor we consider while taking someone is they should have that hunger.
Correct.
Right, so most of the people who are in already, they have that hunger, right? So you don't have to necessarily, like they mostly unka hi message aate rehta hai
okay, so you understand.
Yeah.
वो क्राइटेरिया भी बहुत अच्छा था, नेवर मिस अ संडे शुड बी अ पार्ट ऑफ इट. आई वाज लाइक अच्छा ये सही है. अच्छा. Okay. Perfect, Mithun. Thank you so much. Insightful. Getting to know about the people जो अपने पास idea नहीं थी, and getting to know from you was even better. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.